Hi everyone and welcome to Jump Academy. This is part of my blog where I try and bring you interesting combinations that I see on the courses that I'm walking or riding myself. This particular combination was this spring at Twin Rivers down in Paso Robles, California, and it was on the one-star course. I thought this was a very interesting combination because it combined steep terrain and skinny questions and also turning and bending. The first element was a nice wide oxer on the lip of a hill, and this was pretty much a maximum table. But the most important thing to know about this oxer is that the riders are coming up a steep hill and making a bending turn to it. So they have quite a bit of steam coming up the hill, and they have to rebalance to come to this oxer. The riders then land on flat ground, but then immediately drop down a steep hill, round a turn to the right, and then climb up the hill and are presented with this vertical. They land still on ascending ground and continue climbing out of this hole up to this skinny. And you can imagine it's the terrain that really makes or breaks how this combination is ridden. As I sat and watched this combination, I randomly videoed 3 different riders, and I thought I'd show you those videos and talk a little bit about what I think some of the riders did well and what they could improve upon. This first rider that comes up the hill carries way too much speed coming to the combination. So right away she has to arm wrestle the horse to get her back to approach this oxer in a nice light hand. The horse lands probably with a little bit too much power, and the continued arm wrestling around the turn results in a little bit of a backwards ride to this vertical. And now I feel like the rider regains her composure and rides a nice straight rhythm up the hill. It may not have been the distance that she ideally wanted, but the horse is straight and looks quite safe, and it's very well balanced. This next rider has a really nice jump in over this oxer and gallops down the hill and loses the opportunity to use this corner for its best intention. Instead, she sort of overrides it and ends up underneath and underpowered to the vertical. She exits the combination quite well. Now this last rider, I feel like kind of gets the corner exactly right. She comes in, lets the horse roll down the hill, looks up, finds a nice turn, doesn't start pulling too much, and the horse retains a lot of power to jump out with 1 stride less than the horse before. Because of the efficiency that she had on that turn, she retains speed and also kind of goodwill between her and her horse throughout that whole combination. I feel like this last rider really answered the course designer's primary questions, which are, can you gallop 3 jumps in a row and retain efficiency and smoothness despite the terrain changes?